The Dean Martin Celebrity Roast, coming to you from the MGM Grand Hotel in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. The glittering city of excitement and laughter provides the scintillating backdrop for tonight's star-studded roast. Ladies and gentlemen, from the celebrity room of the Grand Hotel, Dean Martin honors our man of the hour, Sammy Davis Jr., with tonight's guests, Freddie Prinze, Don Rickles, Phyllis Diller, Nipsey Russell, Danny Thomas, Milton Berle, Dionne Warwick, Wilt Chamberlain, Joey Bishop, Jan Murray, Frank Gorshin, Foster Brooks, Norm Crosby, and your roastmaster, Dean Martin. And tonight's very special man of the hour, Sammy Davis Jr.
We're honoring Sammy Davis Jr. And in recognition of one of the great black men of our time, even the NBC peacock is wearing an afro. Yes, this is the biggest night in Vegas since Gladys Knight went to the crap table and lost 2 of her pips. The Sammy Davis story started in Harlem. His family was so poor when Sammy was born, they couldn't even afford a crib. Until the age of 3, he slept in a hollowed-out watermelon. Wilt ain't coming towards me, is he? You think Sammy's small now? You should have seen him when he was born. The doctor couldn't tell whether it was a boy, a girl, or a Jimmy Dean pork sausage. As a child of the streets, Sammy was constantly the companion of bookmakers, car thieves, ex-cons, and pickpockets, some of whom are on the dais tonight. The first booking he got was in Atlanta. As Sammy stepped off the plane, he was met by the governor and a rope. Even the Ku Klux Klan took notice of Sammy. They voted him most likely to be next. He proved that a black man could eat in white restaurants, check into white hotels, date white women, and be carried away in a white ambulance. Ambulance. Not ambulance. Ambulance. I'm more black than you. You don't know that yet, do you? Sammy's never denied his heritage. Even at elegant parties in the White House, he still drinks Ripple from a jelly glass. And Sammy almost did a command performance for Prince Rainier of Monaco. But he didn't perform that night because he was a little steamed at Princess Grace. She was wearing more jewelry than he was. That's why. He does wear jewelry. You should have seen him when he came in tonight. He was wearing copper bracelets, coral rings. He looked like a pushcart in Tijuana. Today, Sammy is happily married thanks to his beautiful wife, out of ease. They live in Beverly Hills and have a German cook and a Japanese gardener. Last week, they got together and captured Sammy's house. Gentlemen, not one of the funniest. I think the funniest guy in show business. I love him, Mr. Milton Berle.
Dino? He don't know where the hell he is. Happy, smiling, relaxed. He still thinks he's on every week. Oh, keep drinking, keep drinking. I came here for a roast and he's fried. This one's going to a crisp. Sammy, you look great. You've taken off height. You look beautiful. I bring you greetings, Sammy, from all of my people, the Italians. What the hell? If he can be Jewish, I can be Italian. And also, in honor of the many blacks on the dais tonight, the hotel didn't put any silverware on the table. I suddenly have a feeling Chamberlain is going to dribble me all the way back to Hollywood. That's all right, Wilt. I didn't come here to talk to a tree. Just a little sap. Sammy, you look okay. Are you comfortable? Are you sitting the way you are? Yeah. You're not, are you? Yeah. Well, I can get you another phone book. It's good to be on the dais with my very good friend, Danny Thomas. Danny Thomas is the only comedian I know who gets written up in Watchtower. I saw Danny at the Dunes the other night. He did 2 performances, one at 8 and a midnight mass. But enough of talking about the biggies. Let's get back to one of the smallies. What'd you do with the sardines? This original model for the Oreo cookie. What a dancer. He danced with his father. He danced with his uncle. Until he was 35, he didn't know what a broad was. So you took your glass. You getting tired, Sammy? Want to take a watermelon break? The reason I say that is because Sammy hasn't been feeling well lately. Last month, he had an operation on his throat, and they had a problem. They had to roll him in flour to find his mouth. He worked hard to get where he's at. At the pinnacle of his profession, he's a pro, he's a fighter, he takes advantage of every opportunity, and all I can say about Sammy Davis is, give him an inch, and he'll be 4'8". Thank you.
Future Basketball Hall of Famer, Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain.
Sammy and I have been friends for really a long, long, long time. I met Sammy while I was playing basketball in Philadelphia against the Boston Celtics, I believe it was. I scored 58 points that night, and Sammy was so excited that he ran up to hug me and crashed his nose right in my knees. Sammy told me how much he envied me, but I envied you, Sammy. I was out there on the court really playing hard with Havlicek giving me a knee here and Bill Russell giving me an elbow there. And there you were in the stands with 2 beautiful chicks getting all the good parts. When I really got to know Sammy, though, I found out really that he had a big, big complex. His complex was being short. And that's why Sammy never wears high Western boots. They cut him under the arms, right there. Also, you'll never catch Sammy walking through Central Park. He doesn't want to be mugged by a pigeon.
Did you notice while he was talking, nobody on the dais heckled him? Ladies and gentlemen, a funny young man who's taken the country by storm, Mr. Freddie Prinze.
Thank you very much, Ding. I've been watching you on TV for years. A lot of years. I heard all those stories about the way you booze it up. I just want to tell you, if you fall down tonight, I'm not picking you up because it's not my job. I'm proud, Thomas Sammy Davis Jr., who overcame the prejudice against his minority background to become a superstar. It's not easy being Jewish. Being Puerto Rican myself, I have a special feeling for all minorities. Chicanos, Indians, Eskimos, Republicans. It's really strange because, like, Sammy's a very special guy to me. He's a brother, which is not too thrilling for my mom. I can just hear her say, he's not your brother, that was not my job. No. Came from the same ghetto, except his people got there before we did. Sam was someone who was really dazzling to a kid just out of New York, like a fascinating sight, wearing a long white fur coat, rings, jewelry, high heels. I didn't know whether to ask him for an autograph or a date. Now I know him better. I realize I could have gotten both.
Why didn't they write that for me?
Because I got a knife. When I first moved out to California to do my show, Sammy took me under his wing. And he actually let me live in his big Beverly Hills mansion. And it was the best gardener's job I ever had. It was real fun to stay in his house, man. A lot of fun, because he has a screening room with a projector. And every night he'd show movies. He told me they were great classics of the silver screen and monumental triumphs of film history. Such pictures like Ocean's 11, Sergeant's 3, Robin and the Seven Hoods. And every picture, Sammy had the same line. Frank, can I get you a drink? Sammy is really upset. He ran out of minorities to represent. And he wanted to be Puerto Rican. He said, would I please make him Puerto Rican? I said, be my pleasure, but you've got to trade in your Stutz Bearcat for a 64 Chevy with pom-poms on the antenna, saints in the dashboard, and a little dog in the back window with his head going open. Yeah, it was hard picking up girls. But I went to Sammy and said, Sammy, look, man, I'm in Hollywood, and I have no women, man. I want you to fix it up for me. Would you please do it? And he said, all right, Freddie, tonight, I'm going to fix you up with a star. I said, really? And that night at 7 p.m., the limousine rolled up, and I'm in my tuxedo waiting. And the door opens, and there was the star, Mom's Mabley. She said to me, she said, honey, you can keep them black guys because they's all chicken. What I need me is a hot Puerto Rican. Thank you.
You know, a lot of your friends couldn't be here tonight, which They're so lucky. But they sent some wires. And, as they say in Puerto Rican, I'm gonna read them to you. Here's one from your rabbi. Dear Sammy, it is now 5 years since you became Jewish. Come in next Tuesday for a booster shot. Here's one I think you're going to be very proud of. Dear Sammy Davis, we'd like you to pose for a nude centerfold in our magazine signed the National Geographic. When we asked Sammy who he'd like to have on the dais tonight, he asked for his two favorites, Hope and Crosby. Unfortunately, Hope Lang couldn't make it, but we do have Norm Crosby. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Norm Crosby.
Friends, for as long as I can remember, Sammy Davis has been a source of insulation for people of all faiths, creeds, and ethical backgrounds that exist hither and yon, pro and con, mothers and fathers, adults, adulteresses, all people. Sammy has done more to combat artificial discrimination and desecration than Tiny Tim has done for the illegitimate theater. He is proudly aware of his Negro heritage. He is deeply involved with his Hebrew faith. Sammy is the only man I know who eats soul food with sour cream, who sips gin from a saucer, and who fully understands the timeless struggle for equality that has prevailed since the ancient Trojans attacked the Phoenicians and the Lesbians and ruined them. One of our biggest stars, but he has never forgotten his humble beginnings. He started in show business as a trio, and to this day, he always seeks insulation from those three wise men, Meshach, Yushak, and to bed we go.
Here's a dear friend of Sammy's. Grammy Award-winning singer Dionne Warwick. Like many young people, Dionne grew up listening to Sammy's albums, and when she was 18, she looked at her mother and said, "Turn it off, I'll be good." Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely and talented and beautiful Miss Dionne Warwick.
It's a thrill to be here to honor not only a great star, but someone I once dated. And that's no joke. I really did date Sammy Davis Jr. We had a lot in common. I started singing gospel at the age of 6, and he started breaking the commandments at the age of 7. I'll say this for Sammy. He always knew how to make a woman feel tall. He just stood by her side. It sure is. I still don't know why Sammy went out with me. In those days, I just wasn't his type. I wasn't sexy. I wasn't beautiful. I wasn't white.
Lay it on, Leon.
I'll always remember our last date. Sammy spent the first hour telling me all about his book, Yes, I Can. And I spent the rest of the evening telling him, no, you can't. And here he is at an age when his wife, out to be, says, I wish he could. Sammy.
Most people think of Joey Bishop as just a replacement for Johnny Carson. Now, that's a lot of... That's not true. We in show business know better. We don't think of him at all. Mr. Joey Bishop.
I love doing your roast, Dean. I really do. It's fantastic. You get good laughers. You come out drunk, you breathe on the audience, and they'll laugh at anything. I go back with Sammy 25 years. Remember when you got your first $100,000, you bought a Rolls Royce. Then you bought something for your father, a chauffeur's cap. To let the people in on something I'm sure they're not familiar with, and I know you'll attest to this. I, and I alone, was responsible for Sammy Davis's conversion to Judaism. He wanted me to turn colored. I said, go to hell. I got a bad back. I can't march. You remember 12 years ago this very month, we were down south doing a benefit together? We got into a bus, the driver said to you, you'll have to sit to the rear of the bus. Sammy says, I'm Jewish. The driver says, get off. Just want to reminisce with you while they're honoring you. Remember the first time after your conversion? You were going to synagogue, you didn't want to go alone, and you called me. You said, Joey, please. I've never been to synagogue in my life. This is my first time as a Jew. Can we go together? I said, what time, Sam? You said, 7:30. I said, I can't make it 7:30, Sam, but I'll meet you in synagogue at 8 o'clock. And you said, I'll be sitting in the third row. Like if he didn't tell me where he's sitting in synagogue, I ain't gonna find him. I said, for heaven's sake, wear a white skull cap so I'll spot you. I was never so embarrassed in my life. His first time in synagogue, the rabbi walked out. Sammy jumped up and hollered, here comes the judge.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, Nipsey Russell.
Sammy was a soul brother singing and dancing, wondering what he could do. He said, when you can't beat them, you might as well join them. And he went and became a Jew. And now that he can live high on the hog, the rabbi won't let him eat a pork chop. They say that the truest way in which you could reveal a man's personality and character is the manner in which he relates to his children. So I asked Sammy, I said, Sammy, are you a good father? For example, on holidays, like say for Christmas, do you play Santa Claus for your kids? He said, the kids too hip for that. I said, you mean your kids don't dig Santa Claus? He said, they don't believe no white man is gonna ride no reindeer through Harlem after midnight. I go home, the little devils run, look at me and say, Daddy, and I believe them. But I know it's cold. These are cold times. It's not the only cold thing you do, Sammy. All that myth about a happy marriage. That's nonsense. He's always in family court. The judge said to him, says, Mrs. Davis said that you broke her jaw, you hit her in the nose, and you gave her a black eye, and you say you never touched her. Sammy said, Judge, who you gonna believe, me or this punch-drunk broad? I thought Sammy and my beloved compeer, Don Rickles, they were in Florida. and they were having a great time on the beach. Don is known for being quite a malicious mirth maker, and Sammy is the soul of loveliness. And there they were on the beach. Sammy was riding the water skis, and Don, in the hot sun, was sweating in this boat, pulling Sammy Davis along. I had to yell at him. I said, "Hey, Rick, that's brotherhood." He said, "No, Nip, this is baiting alligators."
Here's a gal who always makes me laugh. The adorable Miss Phyllis Diller. Yeah.
It's so nice to be here at the MGM Grand Hotel, but I wish they hadn't put me in room 13. 13 is very unlucky for me. It's my bust size. And here I am in Las Vegas, and I wasted the whole afternoon. I took a beauty nap. Sammy, you know, you really are the total performer. Last night I saw your act at a club downtown, down the Strip, and you're just too much. That audience was moved from laughter to the brink of tears. While you were on, they doubled the minimum. Sammy's a man that came up from the ghetto to become a star, and he has everything that goes with it. He wears custom-made clothes, expensive jewelry, drives 2 foreign cars. Sammy has earned his success. He just hasn't paid for it. You think I'm too beautiful? Sammy has always been for civil rights. One time in Mississippi, he told the bus driver that he wanted to be on the front of the bus. So the driver tied him to the bumper. This man believes in equal opportunity. Sammy has a white gardener, a white maid, and a white chauffeur. And he's also got a black secretary to make sure they don't steal. Sammy, you've come a long way. But now you can make your life even more meaningful. Go into politics. Nobody understands the need of blacks more than you do. Sammy, I want you in the White House. Then I want you to replace Kissinger with Cary Grant. And every time you send Cary Grant abroad, be sure it's me. And whatever office you run for, I'll be your running mate. You know, they say that politics makes strange bedfellows, and we'd be about as strange as you could get.
Thank you, sweetheart. It's all right with me. Just a little bit of Cary Grant, that's all. I get it, sweetheart. You may ask, what is Jan Murray doing on a roast for Sammy Davis? As little as possible, we hope. Would you please welcome Mr. Jan Murray, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, I'm sitting here this whole night, and I want to tell you something. This whole evening is a big farce to me. Everyone's standing up here, and they're talking about Sammy Davis Jr. is this, Sammy Davis Jr. is that, and there is no Sammy Davis Jr. This man is a composite of everybody and everything he's ever seen in his life. Remember years ago when he came back from England? Suddenly, he was Sir Samuel of Watts. How long do you think Sammy was in England? 36 hours. 30 hours he was at the airport trying to get his jewelry past the metal detector. Who do you think he became this week? I'll tell you, you'll never believe this. You know, as you all know, this man is now starring across the street in one of the major hotels in the world, and I went to see his show last night. Now, his closing number, you'll never believe the gall, the temerity, the audacity that Sammy Davis had to walk out on the stage with a slouched hat, a finger in his raincoat, a cigarette in his mouth, and he sang My Way.
What was he doing?
Peter Falk. You want to know what Sammy was doing? Of course, he was doing the one and only Frank Sinatra. I went backstage after the show. I said, Sammy, how can you do that song? That's Frank's song. It was written for him. It's his life. Sammy said, that's a lie. It's my song. It was written for me. It's my life. All right? Folks, I went out and got a copy of the song. Here it is, My Way. Let's see if this is Sammy's life. All right? Here's the exact lyric, all right? And now the end is near. So far, you're right, Sammy. The end is near. Saw your act last night. Your voice is flatter than your nose. And now we go back to the song. And so I face the final curtain. That part is also true, Sammy. If Sinatra ever finds out you're doing this song, it'll be curtains. He makes one call, you wake up tomorrow morning with the head of a watermelon on your bed. Get a load of this lyric. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway. Now, that part, I admit, that is Sammy's life. He did travel each and every highway, but on the back of the bus. You know, to this day, Fred McMurray doesn't know who stole his wallet. Admit it, Sammy, the last time you had cash in your hand is when you bought your freedom from Scarlett O'Hara.
Now I'd like you to meet the magnificent impressionist, the man of 1,000 faces and 1,000 voices. He is beautiful, Mr. Frank Gorshin.
Yeah.
It's nice to be here tonight to roast Mr. Sammy Davis, Jr., the world's only dancing fudgicle. Everybody knows that you're a great actor, you're a great singer, you're a great dancer. I love everything you do. I love to watch you show up. But you do your impressions all wrong, Sammy. Well, when you do Richard Burton, if I were Richard Burton, I'd really be upset. Upset? Upset's not the word for it. I've been humiliated, degraded, cruelly besmirched by this Brillo pad with legs. Macbeth. I say, is this the dagger I see before me, the handle toward my hand? I don't say, well, I got to have a blade, man. Stop doing that, Sammy. That's not right. They don't. When you do George C. Scott from his great Oscar-refusing role of General Patton. If the battle gets tough, we find ourselves in the miserable position of having to retreat. Well, I want you to remember these few simple words. Feet, do your stuff. And when you do Burt Lancaster. I don't know why I'm laughing. Oh, yes, because I hate this Mantan moisture, Diane.
my big scene with Deborah Carr and From Here to Eternity. He did it like this. My darling. Yes, this is goodbye. I've always loved you and I always will love you. You'll have to go back to your husband. But I found myself another woman I love very much. Who is he? Who is she? Who is she? Did the name Ruby Begonia mean anything to you?
That I get to introduce someone who's in worse shape than I am. Here's the distinguished chairman of the Las Vegas Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Buster Frooks.
Thank you, Sammy. I'm honored to be standing here, and I rather imagine you're surprised that I am. Last time you and I were side by side, somebody stepped on my tongue. Ladies and gentlemen, folks. This man, Dean Martin has without a doubt, the warmest heart in show business. And you would too if you drank Sterno. Before we go any further, the MGM Grand Hotel has asked me to tell you something. We don't mind if you have parties in your room with a lot of scantily dressed girls running around, but please have a little consideration for your neighbors and also for me. Next time, please cover up your keyhole. On behalf of the city, on behalf of the citizens, folks of Las Vegas, I'm here to give our thanks to this superstar, Sandy Duncan Jr.
Sandy Duncan.
Oh. Where would Las Vegas be without you, Sammy? Probably out in the middle of some desert. You know, Snoopy? You have many handicaps to overcome on your way to becoming the beloved star you think you are. Whenever you play Las Vegas, many people benefit financially.
And may I add a finer bunch of girls you couldn't ask for. Come to think of it, I asked for one of them last night. Did you get yours? Mr. Davis, you are a great performer. The excitement you create in an audience is incredible. There they sit, spellbound, wondering if someone in your entourage is ransacking their room. From dancing for pennies to that magnificent moment when Frank Sinatra phoned down to the lobby and said, "Send the colored kid up to dance while I shave."
You know, Sammy Davis is always singing, "What kind of fool am I?" I'll tell you what kind of fool Sammy is. He asked me to invite Don Rickles here tonight. Sammy, you asked for him, and you got him. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the man whose sense of humor is as twisted as Carl Malden's nose, Mr. Don Rickles.
I wish you wouldn't touch me, Sammy. You people rust.
It's a wonderful trait to be able to... This wonderful black man. Sam, I kid you, we know each other a lot of years, really. And I love the black people. We need you people, I swear, because no Jew's gonna make up a train. My kid, Sammy, you're a black man. I took a guess. If you ain't black, you fell into a bucket of M&Ms, I'll tell you that. To you, my good friend Freddie Prince, who's your buddy, and we need the Puerto Rican people, I quote the words of a great Puerto Rican, Manuel Hatesis, who said to me in New York, "You want more coffee?" Look at this, the Puerto Rican and the color guy are making plans. We roll the Jew. Now, I kid, though. Look at this wonderful dais. Frank Gorshin, his whole life is Burt Lancaster. Joey Bishop, who passed away and wasn't told about it. Will Chamberlain, I say from the bottom of my heart, you can move into my neighborhood anytime you want. Black Giant. Can you imagine this guy standing in front of the peas? Hey, anybody want to eat those peas? I'll tell you, eat them peas. I kid you, Wilton. Why? Because you could hurt me. Now, you gotta know this is too fast for you, Dean. I'll make you feel at home. Youngstown, Ohio, right? What's that town you come from? Steubenville. Why, that's better. Anyway, Steubenville, Ohio. Lunch. My idol since I'm a kid. But now, Milton, I say this from my heart. Show business and your life, thyself be thee, with your new book, Love Thee and Know Thyself, Milton. He's old, he understands. I have based my whole humor on laughing at bigotry. I laugh at Will Chamberlain, ha 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 ha. But if you don't laugh back, it's not funny. I laugh at the blacks, the whites, the purples. Mostly the blacks. Remember the words of George Foreman, who said after the Muhammad Ali fight, "Was I down?"
To the black people, remember the words of a great Negro, Johnson Jones, who said in Biloxi, Mississippi on a Saturday night, if the white man and the Negro can work in harmony, the people know that the white folk and the man is harmony with love. The man is now in a state hospital. We laugh. Why do we laugh? Black or white?
Because we must laugh.
That's right. Look who became the priest. No, you're Catholic and I'm a Jew, and Sammy, you're black. I'm sorry. Remember the words of a great Negro. I say that honestly. All peoples are alike. We are all working. You live in my neighborhood. I live in yours. Right, Sam?
Right.
Are you crazy? That doesn't matter. It's what's in your heart. Right, Sam? Be proud. Brothers, we kiss, we hug. Any black on my lips?
When Sammy met his wife, Altaviz, she was a struggling young dancer in his nightclub act. Altaviz. Could you marry someone with a simple name like Sapphire? Ladies and gentlemen, here's a surprise for our man of the hour.
Oh, no.
I'd like to bring on Sammy's lovely wife, Altaviz Davis.
Almost every word that you people on the dais said about my old man. And all I can say is, right on. You can all kid Sammy, but I'll have you know that he's personally created jobs for a lot of people nobody else would hire. His tailors. Ladies and gentlemen, now's the moment that I wait for every night. I'd like to present my numero uno, my Mr. Wonderful, my husband, Sammy Davis Jr.
I would, first of all, like to thank a man that I love very, very much for giving me this honor, Mr. Dean Martin. I mean that. One of the great joys of being 45 years in this business is to have people who love you make fun of you. That is one of the great joys. Because the day they don't make fun of you, that means they don't give a damn about you. I thank you. That's it. Thank you very much.
Mr. Sammy Davis Jr., ladies and gentlemen.
Click on our logo to subscribe to the Dean Martin Association's official YouTube channel. Please also visit DeanMartinAssociation.com. Why not also subscribe to our podcast on Spotify? Search the Dean Martin Association podcast.